Welcome back to the Messy Cook. Today I am making Calendula pain salve. So this isn't something that we can eat. This is something we use as sort of a pain cream or a pain salve. It's made with infused calendula flowers, beeswax. I use some peppermint oil to give it a bit of that tingle that I like, and it makes it smell nice as well. It smells nice without it, and vitamin E oil. So basically what we have here is you can grow calendula flowers. I haven't been able to find seeds to grow them. So I bought a bag of Foothills Naturals organic calendula flowers. I like to have the whole flower. They come dried already. This comes in quite a large bag. And this is basically what we're looking at. I'm just going to show you there. So these are the flower pods and all of the leaves, and that's what we're using. So this is a very large bag. I don't know how much I paid for it. It wasn't crazy priced, but it was a little bit pricey, but this also makes an awful lot. So what I did is to start this, I took I just packed this tight with the calendula flowers, and I covered it in organic olive oil. So what I'm gonna do now, you're supposed to set this for 6 to 8 weeks. I had this sitting, I started on June 4th, and I planned on 6 weeks, but life has gotten busy and canning season is here. So what I've done is I've left it. It's been about 8, well, maybe 9 weeks now. So what I'm going to do is we want to strain this. You can do it through a cheesecloth. You can do it through just through a very fine sieve strainer. We don't want any chunks of flour in there. We just want the olive oil. So I'm going to set that there and let it strain for a bit. It does turn it quite a yellowy color. So we're going to let this strain through, and as soon as we've got all of that, we're going to come back and I will show you our next step. It's actually a pretty simple process. So yeah, anybody can really do this. I also found using this oil, I've been using it for a little over a year now. This salve, I should say. It's great for things like inflammation, sore muscles. I get a lot of sore back because I stand a lot, you know, doing all this canning and things like that, and I tend to get some sore back. I have some slip discs and whatnot. So I find when my back hurts, instead of popping an ibuprofen, which really isn't great for you, I take some of the calendula salve and I rub it on my back, and it feels amazing. About 5 minutes later, pain is gone. It's not a cure-all. It's not going to cure, you know, back issues, but it's certainly going to help relieve the pain in a natural way without taking something medicinal. So I'm going to let this continue to strain, and we'll come back. Okay, so as much, when you've strained out as much as you can actually get out, what I like to do is I like to take, move this to another bowl, and I'm continuing straining in here as my measuring cup is getting a little bit heavier. What I want to do is I want to take some of this, and I'm just going to squeeze it like so with my hands, just to get out absolutely as much oil as I can. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to discard all of the excess flours and whatnot. So I'm just going to squeeze that out by hand. You can press a little bit into or through your sieve. Just taking a little green bin here because I can just use my food waste. And again, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We want to get every last drop of oil out of there. So I'm just going to take a little bit more, and I'm just going to squeeze. You won't get a lot more, but you might get, you know, a quarter cup, something like that, a couple teaspoons, but it also is going to be concentrated. So I'm just going to rinse my hands real quick here, and I'm going to continue to squeeze it out and show you how much we get. Okay, so I strain this out, and my recipe calls for 310 milliliters of calendula oil. That's the infused oil, so I'm going to pour that in there. That's 310. I have enough to do a double batch, so I'm going to measure this out and make sure I have a double batch. I may have to add a tiny bit more of the beeswax. Let's just see here. Actually, that works out absolutely perfect for a double batch. So didn't guess that was going to come so close, but that's perfect. So we're just going to put this, I like to do it in just a stainless steel bowl. Makes it nice and easy to mix up, and it's an easy cleanup. So we're going to set that aside, put the bowl here aside. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do 34 milliliters beeswax. We're going to add to that oil, so I'm going to get my handy dandy whole thing out here. I'll just use the same one. I'm going to reset. I'm going to go to milliliters and I'm going to reset it to 0. I'm going to add in, I have some beeswax here. I also bought some more in case I don't have enough here. So this says 34 mils, so I want 68 milliliters. I also bought this online, organic, and I do have more if I don't have enough. 37, which I think I'm going to have plenty, so I need 68 milliliters. I think that's a little bit too much. We'll take a little bit of that out. There we go. I think that's actually 77. There, 69. That works perfect for me. So 69 milliliters according to my scale of beeswax. That's going to make the salve. What I like to do now is I'm going to put it on a double boiler. We're going to get this all melted down, and then at the end is when we'll take it off the heat when everything's all melted together. We're going to add in our vitamin E oil, and we're going to add in some peppermint oil as well. So I'm going to move this over to the stove and we'll get moving. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I put about 1 inch of water in the bottom. So we're doing a double boiler method. If you have a double boiler, you can use that, but I just use this here. We don't want the bowl touching the water. We're going to turn this on, and I'm just going to turn on a medium heat. We don't want to do this too high. So what we're going to do is we're going to stir this together, and we want to stir it here. Sorry, I should take that out that way. I want to stir this until all the beeswax disappears. So that's all we're going to do here. So I'm just going to continue to stir this, just keep things moving around. It does take a few minutes, so I'm just going to continue that. Okay, so while I've got that, turn it down a little bit, so I'm going to let it go. We need to have 16 milliliters of peppermint oil and 16 milliliters of vitamin E oil. And the vitamin E oil basically just, it's really good for your skin, so I like to put it in when I'm using, making these sort of products. So I'm just going to drip out peppermint oil. 1 tablespoon is 15 milliliters, so this is a good measure. So I want 1 full, because we want 16, so I'll do full and a couple extra drops in there of the peppermint oil. Now, like I said, this is a double recipe. 1 single recipe makes 6 2-ounce jars, or 12 1-ounce, and I'm going to be making 2-ounce jars. So I should get at least a dozen out of this. There we go. So there's 1 tablespoon of the peppermint oil. And again, that gives it a little bit of a nice smell, and it also gives you a nice feel when you put it on. It's a little bit tingly. And then vitamin E oil. We want to put in a tablespoon of that. So I'm just going to measure out a full tablespoon. And this again is good for skin health. So I'm going to continue to measure that and double check on the calendula oil with the beeswax and see how it's melting. Okay, this is almost done. It's just finishing up melting the rest of that beeswax. If there's any bigger pieces, you can crunch it up. You can also buy like the bar beeswax, which I do have as well, but I want to use this up first. Again, I just buy everything organic because I think if we have organic, you know, it's better for your body. You want to know what you're putting into your body before you put it in. If you like, it's the same thing as when, you know, I make food. This is the reason I do a lot of canning and stuff, because honestly, the more canning you do, the more you learn. You know what you're putting into your body. I mean, we don't want to put any artificial and crappy ingredients into us. Now, this isn't in our body. This will be on our body. That's the same thing as absorbed. So we want to be sure that whatever we use is organic. So everything there is melted. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to move the camera over here. Oops, sorry about my fancy camera work here. And I'm going to get everything set up. All right, so I've got the calendula oil off. I'm going to just move my little spatula there. This is very hot, so you can see on the bottom of the pan there's some moisture. We want to be sure all that moisture is wiped off with a paper towel, or whatever you have that's absorbing, because we don't want that water getting into this. I've also washed and sterilized all these little amber jars, so I have 26 of them, which I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need all of those. And what I like to do is I like to, if you think you can hear, it's hot, but that's okay. I like to transfer over that there into a pourable 2-cup measure. I'm also going to put this back on. The burner's turned off, but I'm going to put it back on there to keep it so it doesn't melt, because this does, not melt, sorry, solidify, because this does solidify pretty quickly. So I like to fill these up just below the rim, and I'll show you real quick here. Hopefully you can see all right. There we go. So we're going to fill these up. I'm going to do it just below that rim, right where I see it's just about to come up. So that's a 2-ounce jar. So I'm going to continue to fill these with this bit and what I have on the stove, and we're going to see how many jars we have, and then I'll show you how I finish everything off. Oh no, you know what? I just realized I didn't put in the vitamin E oils. So we're going to pour this right on back in. I guess it was only 4 jars, the vitamin E and the peppermint oil. These are clean. I'm just going to shake them out. Oh darn, I can't believe I forgot that. And we're going to take that. I'm going to grab my other one back, put it here. There we go. So I'm going to add that back in and scrape it. I gotta keep the other one warm. See, you make mistakes as you go, but that's okay because they're always fixable. So when you take it off the stove, instead of pouring it in the jars right away, you're going to add in the vitamin E and the peppermint oil. There we go. Sorry about that. But like I said, mistakes can be fixed. So you just want to stir that in, make sure things combine very nicely. We're going to take that back into here again. I'm going to pour this back in. There we go. And I'll put the other amount again just back on the stove to keep it warm, but at least now everything is in there, so it'll make our skin even healthier with the usage of this, because we've got the vitamin E oil in there as well. So I'm going to take some paper towels I used earlier to dry, and I'm just going to wipe these real quick on the inside because I don't want to have a bunch of oil on the sides. Or salve, actually. Not that that's a problem, but it's not nice when you're capping them off. So I'm just going to wipe those out. There's a little drizzle of the other oil on the bottom, but that's okay because once we put this hot oil here in, it's just going to melt the stuff in the bottom and then it will solidify. So let's try this again. Bring you back over here, and here we go. So I'm going to go to the back one, and there we go. Again, we're going to fill these up. So I'll do 4. You can see in the bottom of these jars is a little bit that's solidified already into a salve. And a salve is like not a hard cream, but it's a nice light one, so it rubs in easily at whatever temperature you have it at. So let's make my camera work a little better there. So there we go. I've got 4 jars done. I'm going to continue on with the other ones, and we're going to come back when we're ready, and I'll show you how I cap them off. Okay, so I've done with all these jars here. I ended up with 8, 12, 14 jars and 1 small one, which I'll use as a sample so people can try it. You know, that way people can try before they buy. I generally sell these. I don't just sell them on Etsy, I just sell them to friends and family and whatnot, but this is also, like I said, something you can make on your own if you like. Now I have these little caps, just a little seal cap there, and this is what I use to close them. So I am going to leave these open right now because I want to let them solidify and get, actually I should undo that one, but I just wanted to show you how they're done. So we want to let those solidify a little bit and harden. So I will set out caps for each of these. I'm going to dry them as I wash those as well and sterilize them. I'm going to set those out beside each jar, and when they're a little more solidified, we're going to come back and put those jars together. Okay, so these pain bombs, the Calendula pain bombs, have all settled. So you can see that they still have a little bit of cooling to do, but they're basically solidified to where I want them. So this one is just going to be my sample, so when people want to try it, they can try it, because that turned out to be half one, and that's basically it. Calendula pain bomb. This works really well for eczema, pain cream, and it's just generally a good moisturizer. The fact that we put some vitamin E oil in it as well helps with your skin. And like I said, the peppermint for this will give you just a tiny bit of a tingle. Imagine, think like Bengay or you know, those pain creams that you get at the store that have 15 zillion medicines in them, and they smell sort of minty. This isn't that sort of minty. It's not that overpowering, disgusting mint flavor that you get, or sorry, mint scent, not flavor, that you get with those. So this is very faint. You won't smell it. No one can smell it on your body. You might smell it a tiny bit when you're rubbing it on, but you'll feel that little tingle, and that's what you're looking for. Again, you know what? I'm all about doing things naturally. I've been using this pain cream for a year, or pain balm, I should say, for about a year. I have a few other people that love it. Nobody's had any complaints, and hey, all natural. So you can't go wrong with that. So I'm just gonna finish capping these off here. And I'm going to, I bought these little stickers, and I just put them on the top. I've also ordered some little sealers so I can actually seal these closed, so they'll have a little hermetic seal on them as well. So I'll just continue with these, and I hope you join me again. If you're interested in making this and you need the exact recipe, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell so you get a reminder whenever a new video is posted, as I do have some more videos coming up. And I'm going to be looking at doing a few more natural remedies. I also do goldenrod salve, which is great for burns and scrapes. Although I haven't been able to get my hands on any goldenrod this year, so I might have to take a nice drive out in the country and see if I can get my hands on some, or if anybody knows where I can find some, let me know. I make homemade Vicks Vapor Rub, which has been great for the kids when they get a little bit of chest congestion. And then I'm going to be working on some more natural things this year. I've in the testing process of doing a tallow whipped body butter or face cream. So I'm testing that now. I have to, I think, render down the beef tallow a little bit more so I get rid of that beefy smell, because it's not the most pleasant, but it does go away after the first bit. So we're in the testing phases of fine-tuning that. And I'm going to be making some mullein tincture, and I'll be harvesting that soon, and that works really well for chest congestion. I'm making some mullein tea as well. So yeah, so I'll bring you along for the process for both of those when we get there. So again, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you are enjoying my channel. Let me know if there's any videos you'd like to see, if you'd like something you'd like to see me make, and if I can do it, I'm more than happy to do that for you. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful summer, and don't forget to follow the page. Have a great day, and we'll see you again soon.